Leon Bibb, Jill Beach, commentator Dick Fagler, meteorologist Steve Brown, and Jim Donovan. This is Channel 3 News.
Good evening, everyone. News of what could be the beginning of the end of communist control in the Soviet Union.
In a history-making end to the three-day Soviet plenum, the party voted to give up its monopoly on power. That vote ends 72 years of total control by the communists. The action gives President Mikhail Gorbachev's reform policies a boost. It provides for the eventual election of the country's president by all voters. And it opens the way for the development of opposition political parties, something Gorbachev's closest advisor downplayed.
We
do not think that a multi-party system can be a magic wand which would allow us to do away with all the problems. And we do not think any party should have a monopoly.
There was little celebration over what happened in the Kremlin meetings. Tourists still visited Lenin's tomb. Few had much optimism.
I am afraid that nothing is going to change.
I think among Soviets who have emigrated abroad, Raisa Kogan moved to Mayfield Heights in July. She's happy with the news, but says Gorbachev should play a key role.
If he would be with the power in future, then I think maybe it will bring some changes, some good changes. But I'm not sure in that.
Kogan says her concerns are over the poor quality of life in her homeland, adding whoever is control must provide more food, services, and better economic opportunities.
A 22-year-old college student is being held in connection with the death of his parents. And Channel 3's Kim Bratton reports live tonight from the Mentor police station. And Kim Bratton has the latest on the story.
Leon, police here will charge 22-year-old Mike Bailey, a student at Cleveland State University, in the morning with 2 counts of aggravated murder. He's staying here tonight in Minter City Jail. Police say his mother, 47-year-old Carol Erbeznik, and her husband, 53-year-old Bill Erbeznik, were both shot to death with a small caliber weapon. The bodies of Carol Erbeznik and husband Bill were taken one by one from the family home. Carol Erbeznik's youngest son from an earlier marriage, Mike Bailey, called police at 4:24 this afternoon, saying he found his parents dead, shot in their bed.
It doesn't appear that there had been any forced entry or that there, to our knowledge at this time, that there's anything missing.
Neighbors said they heard a strange noise earlier in the night.
My dad said he heard something last night, but...
Neighbors gathered outside of their homes in this quiet neighborhood of $85,000 homes. They said the family had lived here for at least 20 years.
It's shocking. Shocking.
Police went door to door trying to piece together clues about what happened. The Lake County animal warden came and picked up the family's 4 dogs. Neighbors say Carol Erbeznik was a housewife and that Bill Erbeznik worked several different jobs as a draftsman. The coroner puts the time of death sometime within the past 24 hours. Neighbors say Mike Bailey was adopted by the Baileys when he was a small boy. There is another sibling, Tony, a younger brother, who is now in the Navy. Jill and Leon.
Thank you very much for that report. Kim Bratton reporting from Lake County Mentor tonight. Jill?
The body of an 88-year-old man was exhumed from an Akron cemetery today. An autopsy will be done to determine if Charles Statler was beaten to death. An anonymous letter from Barberton Hospital employees said Statler suffered from multiple cuts and bruises when he was admitted in November. He died a month later. His $200,000 estate is now frozen.
The story we broke last night of Cleveland police cars taken beyond city limits for washes has prompted promises of change from City Hall. The city of Cleveland has contracts with 2 area car washes, but that puts cars in either East Cleveland at the Al Paul Car Wash or in the Pearl Brook Park Car Wash in Cleveland, a block from the Parma line. Police response time has been labeled a problem. With cars tied up for washes out of the area, Mayor Michael White responded.
I think it's insanity to have our police cars traveling so far just to get a car wash.
Our objective is to better serve the people of the city. They're not being served when employees of the city are driving around just to get cars washed. We'll stop the practice.
During a 3-day surveillance at both car wash locations, Channel 3 News clocked cars out of service an average of 20 minutes. Officials acknowledge there are downtown wash-by-hand car washes but said that they were too slow and too costly.
Tonight, we continue our special report, The Skin Game. Channel 3 reporter Paul Orlousky has detailed allegations that employees at a local bar are directed to disregard the law. Liquor law violations and racial discrimination have been alleged. Tonight, 2 new areas.
Well, Jill, as we've described, the Skin Game involves dancers mingling amid customers, dancing for them, and hoping to earn tips. Police say it's when the mingling, tipping, and dancing go too far that problems arise. A typical evening at the Crazy Horse Saloon on Brook Park Road. Not an unusual scene. There are nearly 50 bars in Cleveland that feature scantily clad dancers playing to a largely male crowd. The game is the same at other topless clubs. The dancers strip, earning tips from the customers, tips they collect in garter belts. As long as there is no sexual contact, no touching, the dancers and the clubs are within state liquor law guidelines. However, our sources say they've seen customers tipping at the Crazy Horse with drugs.
I've seen drugs used quite a bit, and I've seen customers handing the girls the drugs.
As a tip?
As a tip.
Oh, I had it happen to me once. A guy put Coke in $1, and I just turned it in. Nothing you can do about it.
Dancers say the customer's motivation for offering drugs is simple. They want to lure the dancers into sex at the end of the evening.
Occasionally that a girl will go home sick, but she leaves with the customer, and many of them meet him after work.
Drugs are not the only lure to sex that's used. Simple prostitution, cash for sex goes on, according to dancers. Those who participate are called the bad girls.
You get propositioned all the time. I give you $3,000, you go home with me for one night. No, thank you.
I have seen different girls at different times giving sexual favors right there. There are quite a few girls that they don't care who sees what. They want their tip, and that's all that matters.
While no drug arrests have been made, Cleveland Strike Force and state liquor agents have made numerous arrests for pandering and solicitation for prostitution at the Crazy Horse. There have also been liquor law violations and a citation for discriminating against black customers. Other spots take a different tack on the Skin Game. At the Amber Lounge, dancers mingle and sit at customers' tables. If they hustle a drink, the customer is charged $5. The drink never comes, and the dancer pockets a $2 commission.
They told you if you sat with a customer and they didn't buy you a drink, just get up.
Both Amber Lounge and Crazy Horse Management deny that any laws are violated inside of their clubs. But, Leon and Jill, we found 21 pages of violations for the licenses at the Crazy Horse and at the Amber Lounge and State Liquor Department computers.
You wrap this up tomorrow night?
Tomorrow night, yes.
With?
Actually, tomorrow night we look at the way a paper trail makes it very difficult for police to find out who the true owners are and to prosecute.
Thanks, Paul.
All right.
Still ahead tonight as we continue with more Channel 3 News, we'll have a math lesson from commentator Dick Fegler.
A television talk show turns into an on-the-air rumble.
And Julian Lodge with a sneak peek at the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue after this.
Over the years at Perkins Family Restaurants, we've used all sorts of pots to make just about everything. Except, ironically, our 3 new delicious pot pies. All in a fresh-baked, flaky pastry crust. Introducing our beef, chicken, and seafood pot pies. Only at Perkins, where we've taken the pot out of the pot pie, just not out of the name.
experience. It can't be bought. It can only be learned. That's why at Stop & Shop, you'll find so many people working together to be the best. Until you're more than satisfied, we haven't done enough.
Our family cares about your family. Stop & Shop.
What could be a disastrous oil spill off the coast of Southern California tonight. A tanker struck an underwater pipeline 2 miles off Huntington Beach, California. 250,000 gallons of Alaskan crude reportedly are spilled. The oil slick is over 1.5 miles long and headed toward the scene.